Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Paul here from GigaProfits. I just wanted to reach out to you guys and do this live. Today, basically, I'm going to be talking about a book review from Michael E. Gerber, and it's basically E-Myth Revisited. And in this book that I read, one of the few books that I completed end to end, usually I just read them and then I skim to the parts that I really want to focus on. Basically, in this one, what I saw was, and the people that told me, and it was gifted to me back in 2004, it explains the difference between the mentality of an entrepreneur and the difference between the mentality of an entrepreneur, mentality of a manager, and the mentality of a technician. And I was like, okay, what are these things? I understand kind of what they are, but what are they really, and what do they mean to an entrepreneur or a business owner, right? So let's look at it this way. A business owner basically has, a mentality as an entrepreneur, which business owner is synonymous with entrepreneur. But what happens is that when you're running a business, you realize that there's different parts of the business. So there's parts where you have to serve the customers, there's service, there might be products, there may or may not be products, could be services. If there's products, there's always service as well, because there's that human aspect, right, where you give them service and you serve the customer. And then you have also the billing and finance, and then you've got also the marketing, the sales, and you've got the full management of everything, right, where the manager comes in. So let's think of it this way. On one side, we've got the entrepreneur, who is like the visionary, and that's what it goes more into detail. So I would recommend reading this book because it's going to give you more insight on how an entrepreneur thinks or should think, right? And that's how it helped me, is because it kind of gave me that idea into, like, basically, how should I be thinking as an entrepreneur? Because I got all these things to do. I got to manage and I got to serve, like the technician or the staff member. I have to be everything to this business. So what this did to me was, what it did for me, was it gave me the mindset to separate myself and be those different entities, right? So for the entrepreneur, being more the visionary, then going down to the next part, which is the manager, who's managing the business. So I'm also that person. A lot of small businesses are also doing that. They're managing the business, okay? And then you've also got the technician part, which the technician could be somebody that's like flipping hamburgers, collecting cash. They could be selling retail products. They could be maybe doing your admin work, maybe collecting payments, maybe doing some finance work for you, like maybe calculating the whole day, how much you made, extra this and that, and reporting it back to you. So the staff member, that's usually more of a manager, but the staff member is more like, could be a manager as well, but the manager is kind of like the in-between between the entrepreneur and the technician. So what I found interesting about this book was that it gave me an insight into how each of these positions or type of people, how people can be classified in that and how they think. So basically, this is what happened. When I read the part about the technician, it told me in a nutshell, and I'm telling you, you still got to read it because I'm just giving you the quick version of it. But basically, the technician thinks in a way where they want to keep repetitively doing, the same thing. They want some certainty. They come to work. They know that they're going to get their paycheck. They know that they're going to be doing X amount of work, and they're willing to do that up to, whatever level they are as a human or whatever you motivate them with. But there's going to be this kind of baseline of, this is what you want the technician to do, right? And this is what the technician thinks. So it kind of gave a lot of insight to, how does the technician think? How does the staff member think? How does the frontline staff, employees, etc., how do they think? Because then that helps you, because when you introduce a new idea as an entrepreneur, you're like, wow, this amazing idea. I got this amazing idea today. We're going to do this, and it's going to do this for our business, it's going to do that. But to the technician, they may look at it and say, oh, sounds great. Like, they may not be excited. And you're like, why aren't they excited? Like, I'm so excited. Why aren't they excited? I don't get this, right? He should be excited. She should be excited too. Like, I don't get it. Well, they're not the entrepreneur. They think different than you, right? So the technician thinks in a different way. So you got to really understand that. And then you got to understand how to motivate them, what things you can do to put into place to motivate that technician, the staff member, so that they want to do better for you, right? They want to contribute, right? They want to deploy your vision, right? And share that passion. I mean, you can do that up to a certain extent, but if someone's a technician, they're working for you that way, there's gonna be that like understanding that this is what they expect and this is what they're coming to do. They're putting in their 8 hours or whatever hours it is, maybe part-time, full-time, doesn't matter, but they're expecting to do a certain level of work. And you might find, hey, well, this staff member is amazing. This one, well, you have your system, but some people just want to come in and just do an amazing job. And some people just want to do an average job. And then there's some days where they have a lot going in their life. So you got to understand that their main priority is not to deploy your vision. And you have to understand that, right? So having understood that, the mindset of the technician and the mindset of the entrepreneur helped me to understand the third part, which is the manager. Like, okay, the manager. Now, we're not talking about SpongeBob here. I'm the manager, Krusty Krab. No, not that. It's basically like the manager would be someone that is the go-between, right? Between the entrepreneur, right? And then, Mr. Crab, and then the manager, and then all the way to Squidward, right? So it's like, kind of like you got to think that it's the person that understands the entrepreneur and they don't mind the change, they don't mind new things, and then they kind of bring it to the technician who's deploying the changes. The technician, though, does not like the change. That's another thing in the book. The technician wants to just, they know what to do, they want their certainty, they don't necessarily like change. The manager is okay with it, but the manager is not an entrepreneur. So they won't fully understand the visionary aspect, the passion, but they may be like, you know what? I got tasked with this. I have to deploy it, but I'm okay with change because I'm a manager. I'm a manager and I'm able to deploy change, right? We changed the recipe of our Krusty Krab burger and we're going to come and give it to Squidward and he's going to make it and he's going to change and everything's going to be fine. I'm going to explain it to him. So I'm the go-between, right? So I don't know if I'm even saying all this right, but I'm trying to give an analogy here that there's basically like a trickle down, almost like a funnel, right? You've got the entrepreneur at the top, and you got the manager, and then you got the technicians, right? And you can look at it as a pyramid, or you can look at it as a funnel, right? It's either way. But the idea is that there's tiers, right? Now, how do you fit into that? Well, if you have staff, then you have different people to do those things. But if you're alone, then understanding this helps you to, and this is another thing in the book, to work on your business instead of in your business, okay? Now, what does that mean? Working on the business or working in the business? That makes no friggin' sense. I'm in the business, I'm on the business, like what's the difference? Well, on the business would be more of what an entrepreneur or manager would do, manager, entrepreneur. They would work on the business. So they would work basically as a bird's eye view, looking at the systems, putting everything together, creating this puzzle, creating this flow, and having everything work with policies, procedures, whatever it is. And then you've got people that are working in the business who is like the technicians and the managers, right? Maybe the entrepreneur. If you're a one-person show, you're in there, you're wearing different hats. One hat, entrepreneur, okay? Second hat you're wearing is manager. Another hat you're wearing is as a technician. So you've got to understand the thinking of this and why this book is so good. And it's The E-Myth Revisited by Michael E. Gerber. I can't find my copy, otherwise I'd hold it up here for you and show you. I think I gave it away to someone and I told them, hey, can I get it back after? I don't know what it was, but I didn't get it back. But that's good. I hope it helped whoever has it. And I've referred it to so many entrepreneurs, and they've even said to me, like other people that read a lot, they said to me, even my interviews, they say, hey, you know what? I read that book. It's amazing. Like, this is what I got from it. So, it was gifted to me by, an old friend, John Fung. He was actually one of my employees, and he gave it to me. He knew I really wanted to improve. And it was back in, I think 2004 or something. And this book dramatically, changed my mindset for business, tenfold, okay? So I strongly recommend you read this book or get the audio book or, whatever you got to do. I would definitely read the book or at least listen to the audio. And, it's worth it. If you're an entrepreneur and you can't spend a bit of time on educating yourself, you're going to find it's going to be very difficult, and you may make a ton of mistakes that you could have saved on, and you could lose out on a lot of potential revenue. So you got to keep reinventing yourself, okay? Anyways, that's my video today. If you have any comments or anything, I'd love it if you subscribe. I can keep bringing more videos like this for you. And again, I'm here for you, so reach out. And if there's anything that you want a video done on that I do have knowledge about, or I can attain the knowledge, please let me know, and I'll definitely do my best to get it to you. Okay, guys? I wish you all the best with your businesses and your lives. Okay, take care.